All right, look, now I think it is totally safe to say that respect has been demanded when it comes to these two shoes right here. So look, we have this one right here. This is the Air Jordan 4 Black Cat, released on Black Friday. We're talking about November 28th, 2025 for $220. Now this shoe performed a whole lot better than what I thought it would. On a personal level, look, I lost a nice little friendly bet because I thought these shoes would actually be readily available, maybe, the next day after release. So look, the people showed up and showed out for these, and that might be the reason why these actually did a little bit better. Now, I am on record for saying I've heard multiple different stock numbers, right? I've heard multiple different stock numbers. I heard 1.1 million pairs. I've heard 2 million pairs, even though I do believe there'll be a restock on these. I've heard 2 million pairs, but it doesn't really matter because I've also said, what's a million pairs if 3 or 4 million people want them? And I think we have evidence that people wanted this shoe. Well, this is the Gamma 11s. This dropped yesterday. We're talking about December 13th for a whopping $235. And I don't think that price stopped anybody, like literally anybody, from wanting this shoe. Tell me what you think. Now, do you have a preference? Which shoe would you say actually had a bigger impact? Which shoe would you say was highly coveted, one or the other? Is it the Air Jordan 4 or the Gamma 11s? I would submit to you, both of these shoes had a pretty big impact, but one had a bigger impact, and I'm gonna have to go with the Gamma 11s. I'm about to go with the Gamma 11. Now, shout out to my guy Just a Sneakerhead because he just sent me a text message saying, yo, if you think the Gamma 11 went crazy, man, wait until next year when we get them Space Jams. Ooh, you better put your footwork in now. And speaking of footwork, footwork is literally just going above and beyond, right? Like it's not going with the normal, right? So when we tell you guys to put in your footwork, I'll give you a perfect example. Right now, on DSG, that is Dick's Sporting Good, you can enter a raffle, a draw for the Bugs Bunny 8s. It's available. You can get it into that draw there. Well, actually, I don't know if it's open yet, but it might be. I'll verify that during this video. But anyway, the Bugs Bunny 8 is going to be sold at DSG, so it's not a shoe that I think is going to move like these. I don't think it's going to move like those, but that's called putting in the footwork. Here goes another thing, Shoe Palace. You can go to Shoe Palace the Tuesday of the week of the drop. So let's say that a shoe drops on Saturday. On that Tuesday, you can go to Shoe Palace. You can enter a raffle at every Shoe Palace in order to acquire a kick. If Shoe Palace is, that's called putting in the footwork, right? Not just relying on a Nike app or on a sneakers app. Anyway, let's take a look at the box. Now, I personally do think, even though the Gammas had a bigger impact than the Black Cat 4s, they both demand respect. Look, respect is demanded. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on my name. I do think that the box to Black Cat looks a little bit better than the box to the Gamma 11s. The Gamma 11 has a very nice box, but it's also just kind of plain. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just plain. I will submit to you that the box to the Rare Air 11s actually looks a little bit better than the Gamma 11, and that's only because we have red on the Rare Air 11 box. The box is actually extremely similar. The box on the Gratitude 11s actually look nice because we have a big thank you there, and we have thank you written in different languages and stuff like that. Once again, whatever, it is what it is, right? So it's not like the box looks bad, it just looks plain. So I do think this has a better box, but overall, due to this sneaker being cheaper, literally costs less than this one, that did not stop the people for hitting them streets. And when I tell you they were out there, they were out there. Were you able to cop a pair of these? If you can only pick one, which one would you choose? I choose both, right? I just do. But for the people that didn't hit on these, what the future for Nike and the Jordan brand can be. And for everyone that says sneakers are dead, right? That the sneaker community sucks and sneakers are dead and Jordans are dead, tell it to these sneakers right here.